Frank Lucas arrived in Harlem from North Carolina with no reputation and no protection. He found work driving Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson, watching how power moved without noise. Harlem didn't announce opportunity. It tested patience, discipline, and the ability to remain invisible. Lucas stayed close to Bumpy. He observed meetings, collections, and silences. Violence was rare, restraint constant. Bumpy controlled Harlem through order, not spectacle. Lucas absorbed the lesson quietly, understanding that survival depended on consistency, not fear. When Bumpy Johnson died in 1968, Harlem's structure loosened. Corners shifted. Old alliances weakened. Lucas didn't rush forward. He watched the reactions, noting who panicked and who overreached. Power gaps were dangerous, but impatience exposed men faster than ambition. Lucas decided the existing drugs trade was inefficient and vulnerable. Too many intermediaries, too much exposure. He planned to control supply directly, cutting out layers others depended on. The idea wasn't dominance. It was insulation, fewer connections, fewer leaks, fewer mistakes. Travel took Lucas far from New York. In Southeast Asia, he negotiated directly with suppliers, avoiding brokers American dealers relied on. The arrangements reduced cost and increased purity. It wasn't bravado. It was logistics executed face-to-face, quietly and deliberately. Back in Harlem, Lucas rebuilt distribution under his own supervision. He hired disciplined men and enforced simple rules. The product moved efficiently. Payment was guaranteed. A reputation formed without advertising. The name Blue Magic spread because the supply never failed. Lucas avoided attention. He dressed plainly, avoided nightlife, and stored money away from the streets. Flash brought scrutiny. Restraint bought time. Others celebrated success publicly. Lucas treated visibility as a liability, believing longevity depended on appearing unremarkable. Competition reacted, expecting confrontation. Lucas responded economically. Prices dropped, supply increased. Rivals lost ground without gunfire or threats. Corners emptied. Routes closed. Harlem adjusted quietly. No announcement marked the change, but control shifted as predictably as traffic patterns. Expansion followed. Distribution reached beyond Harlem, and scale introduced risk. Law enforcement chatter increased. Lucas sensed pressure tightening, but trusted the structure he built. Discipline had carried him this far. He believed systems could outlast scrutiny if maintained carefully. The mistake came without urgency. One public purchase, brief and unnecessary. A rare luxury car appeared where modesty had protected him. It drew attention he had avoided for years. Curiosity followed. Surveillance followed next. Frank Lucas had finally become visible to the wrong people. Surveillance followed Lucas quietly. Phones were monitored, movements logged. The system he trusted kept functioning, but scrutiny changed its rhythm. Associates noticed unfamiliar faces, parked cars lingering too long. Lucas adjusted routes and timing, believing precision could still outrun attention gathering around him. Federal agents compared notes across jurisdictions. The operation no longer looked isolated. Lucas continued expanding, convinced efficiency masked intent. He underestimated how patterns accumulate. What once blended into background noise began forming a picture, piece by piece, without a single dramatic trigger. In January 1975, pressure collapsed into action. Agents raided Lucas's home in Teaneck, New Jersey. Cash was seized, hundreds of thousands stored carefully, methodically. The discovery punctured invisibility. Lucas watched years of restraint reduced to evidence spread across tables. Arrest followed quickly. Lucas was processed without spectacle, but the impact spread immediately. Distribution stalled. Associates scattered. Corners emptied. The structure depended on his presence more than expected. Control that once felt permanent dissolved as soon as the architect was removed. In custody, Lucas assessed options with the same discipline that built his operation. Loyalty had limits. Silence carried consequences. He chose cooperation, offering information that redirected pressure outward. The decision fractured alliances permanently, trading protection on the street for survival inside institutions. The fallout was severe. Former allies faced indictments. Reputations collapsed. Lucas entered witness protection, severing his public identity. Harlem moved on without him. Systems replaced personalities. The city rarely paused to mourn absences, especially when order quickly reasserted itself. In 1976, Lucas was convicted and sentenced to decades in prison. The number sounded final. It wasn't. Cooperation shortened time dramatically. Years passed behind walls, controlled and monitored, while the world outside reorganized, filling gaps his operation once occupied. Released early, Lucas attempted a quieter life. Surveillance never fully disappeared. Old habits remained dangerous. Distance from Harlem didn't erase history. Federal oversight followed every movement, limiting ambition, restricting contact, ensuring the past stayed close even when streets were far away. In 1984, Lucas was convicted again on drug-related charges. The comeback was brief and incomplete. The system he once mastered no longer belonged to him. Sentenced again, he returned to prison older, diminished, operating in a world that had already moved on. Lucas was released in 1991. He did not reclaim power. The era that enabled his rise was gone. Markets changed. Enforcement changed. Harlem changed. What remained was reputation, retold without him present, sometimes exaggerated, rarely precise. In later years, Lucas spoke publicly, recounting his rise with confidence. Some claims blurred into legend. Others were disputed outright. The facts that mattered remained unchanged. He built a system, lost it, survived it, and lived long enough to watch others reinterpret it. Hollywood eventually arrived, reshaping events for spectacle. Lucas became a character more than a man. The reality was quieter. No throne, no final confrontation. Just movement, pressure, collapse, and containment unfolding over years rather than moments. Away from the spotlight, Lucas aged under reduced scrutiny. His days followed ordinary routines. The networks were gone. The risk was minimal. What remained was time unstructured, unremarkable, and indifferent to the mythology that had grown around his name. Harlem remembered selectively. Corners changed hands. Generations replaced one another. Lucas's absence barely registered against the city's constant motion. Systems adapt. Individuals fade. The streets that once carried his operation continued without him. Lucas lived quietly into old age. Removed from influence, observed occasionally, rarely pursued. Law enforcement interest softened into documentation. His life no longer shaped outcomes. It existed alongside them, detached, controlled, and largely irrelevant to current power structures. The man who once controlled supply lines and prices now controlled only his schedule. Surveillance ended. Consequences remained. There was no restoration, no reckoning ceremony, no redemption arc, just years passing without urgency, measured by routine instead of ambition. Frank Lucas died in 2019. The news registered briefly, then disappeared beneath newer stories. Headlines reduced decades into paragraphs. The city absorbed it without pause. His journey had ended long before his life did. Frank Lucas did not escape consequences, nor did he meet them dramatically. He outlived his power, his enemies, and his era. The camera stops not on triumph or collapse, but on absence, where influence once existed and no longer does.
Like and subscribe for more true crime.